All right, and welcome back to Lysathon 2026. We are here with Spider-Man 2000. Take it away.
Hello everyone, my name is Spyran. This is Spider-Man 2000. Hold on, let's get to the menu where the banging music is, of course. I'm Spyran. I've run this game for far too long probably now, running since about 2023, which actually probably isn't that long as some other people. Some other people have been running this way longer than me. This is a Dreamcast. I'm using a real Dreamcast controller, running on a real Dreamcast. This, in my opinion, could be controversial opinion, but this, in my opinion, is the best way to play this game. More than likely, you'll have played this game on a PlayStation. That is the most popular version of the game. That is the way I played it when I was younger, but no longer. Now I have a Dreamcast, and so I play on the Dreamcast. The reason the Dreamcast is good is because it runs at 60 Hz, which means this is the fastest possible way of running the game, apart from the load times. The load times are a little bit long. We use load remover. That's fine. Don't worry about it. So, this is indeed, you'll notice, all comics. I figured normally we do a lot of any percent, a lot of maybe like no skips when we run in marathons or events or whatever it might be. This is License-a-thon, so I thought, well, let's tie it into the License-a-thon theme. Let's collect the comics that the game is based on. It makes perfect sense. So we're going to do that. So there are 36 comics, I believe, in the game. That could be completely wrong. Don't question it. There are a lot of comics anyway we need to collect in this game. We're going to go through, collect all the comics, as well as beat the game in its entirety, which is full of tricks and wonders and all sorts of things. I'll explain as much as I can as we go along, but we will begin very shortly. So yes, we'll be collecting comics, we'll be beating the game. There's lots to see. We'll get started. We'll give a countdown from 5, and we'll start the timer from there. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. And we are off. So, you may have seen this game before, like I say, you played this probably when you were younger. If not, the essential premise of this game is that Spider-Man has been framed for a crime that he didn't commit, and we've got to go and save the day, figure out the mystery and all sorts of things. The main way of moving Spider-Man around the levels is by web swinging, generally. So you can see the web swinging we're doing here. There's a little trick we can do. Oh, as we nearly die. Gosh, that would have been a dreadful start. The main way of moving around is the web swinging. We can do what's called a web swing cancel, where normally the maximum amount of swings Spider-Man will do is 2 before he lands on a surface. We want to do single swings as much as possible because that is faster. We're going to go over to here, a building you might recognize as the Fantastic Four building. This is our first comic.
Man, looks like the Fantastic Four
there it
aren't
is.
around right now.
And the Fantastic Four, sadly, are not around right now. That is very sad, but it's fine. We'll continue without them. They're not needed for the plot of this game. We're going to swing over here, go around to here. We're going to use what's known as targeting mode to aim up this building a little bit quicker, just so we can swing to a bit of a higher point than we would just swinging across and climbing up. They're the Jade Syndicate on top of this building, so we're going to take them out, hit this guy, jump over here, hit this guy, hit this guy. There we go. We're going to do a web dome, run around and hit this guy, and that's all the Jade Syndicate. They're out of here. So Spider-Man has many web moves, one of which, or 2 of which you've just seen there. We've got the web dome, which you kind of half saw, but didn't really see. You'll see that a little bit later, and the web ball. So lots of Spider-Man moves. Now, floors, walls in this game, I do warn you, are all optional. We're going to jump through this wall. Now we're out of bounds, kind of. We were out of bounds, and now we're back in bounds, but because we're back in bounds, the level is deloaded a lot, which makes it a lot easier to navigate. We're going to swing over to here. The next comic is behind this chair. You have to pick this chair up. I was going to try and destroy it with a web ball. It did not let me. It's being very rude. We pick up that comic. We get shot a few times on the way past, just for our troubles. That's fine. And we leave.
Going down?
We saved all the hostages. Definitely. Don't worry about it. We definitely saved them all. The next level. So we're in a bank, essentially. I don't know if that was explained. We're in a bank. We're trying to stop the bomb from being set off. We're going to swing over here. Ignore all the hostages that are in this room. They'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Swing over to here. And again, doors, optional. Here's a door. It's optional. We're going to zip through it.
Uh-oh.
And swing over to here. Press this button. Now, this button opens this door, which is where the bomb is kept, and some of the bank robbers are also hiding in here. We're going to take out all the bank robbers.
The robbers have been taken care of.
They've been taken care of. We're going to throw this bomb into a safe place. That safe place being the safe that's located nicely over here. But we don't want to go just there yet. The comic is on the other side of this wall. So we're going to get back outside the door. There's the comic. Golden. We pick it up, we go back inside, and we hit this button. And the vault door technically should be closing there, but because we glitched through using the glitch to get through the door, we don't see
Not
the bank
this
vault
time,
door
guys.
close or open or anything like that. So don't worry about it. It's fine. We saved the day. It's all totally fine. Don't save. That's slow. So we saved the day, and now J. Jonah Jameson is in trouble. It turns out that Scorpion's chasing him. That's Ghost Rider. He just got announced as being Ryan Gosling the other day. So shout out to Ryan Gosling, just riding down the building there. I guess canon now. We're going to go swing over to the Daily Bugle now before J. Jonah Jameson gets attacked by Scorpion. But we're going to take a slight detour because we want comics. Comics are very important. There are just the one comic on this level.
Gold.
There it is. We're going to swing around this building over to this building over here, and we're just going to do some little swings around here. Try not to fall into the abyss. If we fall too far down, we will die. And we'll have to start the waddle again, which we don't want to do because that is slow. Do some zips to navigate our way kind of around the building. Oh, we try not to get shot by that guy, because if he shot us there and we fell off, we would be stuck in that falling animation and we would just die. So thank goodness he didn't quite catch us fully there. Here's the next level. It's Scorpion. We're going to go straight into targeting mode here. Oh, as we get down from the ceiling. Because to get the comic on this level, we're going to destroy all the bits of furniture in this room. So we're going to try and do that initially, just with the web balls. Oh, as if he's just walked right in front of that. That is crazy rude. Well, now we've attacked him, so he's going to kind of hit us a little bit there. He's mostly trying to chase, you'll notice, J. Jonah Jameson around the room. We're going to kind of ignore everyone for the time being and just try and destroy as much of this room as possible. Property damage is fine. It is intended. Yeah, we have to just destroy all the bits of furniture. And luckily, Scorpion kind of helps us a little bit by attacking things as well. There should be... There's a couch still left here. And there's a chair just here. Let's try and pick this up. And there's a little filing cabinet thing over there as well. Let's pick this up. And you'll notice, boom, big explosion. There's the comic. We pick that up. And now it's time to face Scorpion. We do some kick-kick-punch combos to take him out. Kick-kick-punch, the fastest way to fight in this game. We ideally wanted to do the full combo and defeat him before J. Jonah Jameson ran into that second room. That would be a one-cycle Scorpion. Unfortunately, we did not quite get there fast enough. So we'll just defeat him in the second room. It's totally fine. And we saved the day. The day is saved. J. Jonah Jameson, very happy. Actually, he's not very happy. He thinks that we are the bad guy, which is fine. That's on brand. So, the next level now involves probably the most unreasonable behavior from the New York Police Department that you'll ever see in a video game. So because, as I mentioned earlier, Spider-Man's been framed for a crime that he's not committed, the police are just like, do you know what? Spider-Man, we're just going to nuke the entire city to chase you. And that's just fine and reasonable behavior. Which it is, I guess. That's fine. So you'll notice a lot of missiles being shot, a lot of machine gun bullets being shot. It's fine. We want the comic that's inside of this little part of the building there. We wait for the rocket to destroy it. And then we're just going to try and get out of here without getting peppered too much by all the various bullets and things flying around. Very scary things, but it's fine. We made it. Here's a level that can be very loud. So apologies if it is a bit loud. There's a lot of missiles flying. Casually, you'd have to climb up this building just regularly. But because we're speedrunners, we know the point at which the Spider-Man is high enough to be able to zip to the platform just above. So once we reach that point, we just zip straight to the roof. Obviously, playing this for the first time, or as a child, you probably wouldn't have known that. But there you go. As soon as you hit the right height, you just do a little zip.
Almost there.
And reach the little ledges that are stuck out there. Speeds that level up exponentially. It's very, very good. So, next level, we're going to go and find another comic. This comic is in a place you might recognize. Maybe not recognize per se, but you'll recognize some of the decor of the place we're going to next. I'm just going to jump over to here. Now, we're going to go over to this little crane over here, and you'll notice, ooh, there's an interesting little design on the side there. Let's go in and find out what's going on. Ooh, I wonder who these pumpkin bombs belong to. Mysterious. We'll never see him, of course, in this game. He's not in this game, but shout out to the Green Goblin. We collect the comic. We carry on. You'll notice now we've equipped Spidey armor. So that yellow like pickup that was on the floor is the spider armor. It gives us an extra, basically, bar of health that shields us from being damaged. So if we lose our health bar, we basically get a free health bar back. Going to swing over to this final section now. The next level. Now, this level, interesting level. This is a very interesting level. You've seen Spider-Man swing. You've seen him zip. Have you ever seen Spider-Man fly? Probably not. Well, you're about to. So we're first going to go over to this side of the building, collect this comic. We're then going to go up to the very top of this building. Going to drop kick this guy for good measure, because he's mean. We're going to swing over to here. And now we're going to aim in a very specific position. And Spider-Man should just start flying. There he goes. So we just fly to the end of the level. So that's a glitch that was discovered not too long ago, fairly recently in terms of the skips and glitches that have been discovered in this game. But for whatever reason, Spider-Man, if you aim at a very specific kind of angle while on a platform, he'll just start flying, basically. Here's another comic. It's just in here. You'll see the flying glitch. In fact, you won't ever see that flying glitch again. I'm so sorry. Normally in any percent, you do that flying trick twice. But because we're doing all comics, we actually skip the section where you'd see that flying skip again. So apologies, you will no longer see Spider-Man fly after this point. I can only apologize. I know it's very exciting, but that's fine. We saved the day. Well, we don't save the day. We escaped. And now Rhino's here. Rhino's also part of this story. So Rhino, to get the comic on this level, what we need to do is destroy all these little barrels that you can see around the outside. So I'm going to get Rhino, trapped in this little corner here. And that should kind of keep him there for as long as we need him to be. And we're going to just blast these with our web balls. And we're going to swing over to here. Let's blast some more. So we're still kind of being blocked by the barrels that are in front of him there. Which should give us a bit more time. And then, in theory, he'll smash the last two. There we go. We'll go pick up the comic, which is just in the middle here. There we go. We'll try and get him to run into
Did you get a charge out of that?
this place here. I'll drop kick him, run inside of him. Nah, they're kind of. We're basically just going to do some web domes. In theory, until he dies, we might not quite have enough webbing. Oh, no, we should have enough. That's fine. So that's fine. So the web dome there, essentially, is we do what's called like a repeated web dome, where you hold down all the buttons required to do a web dome, plus either the punch or kick button, and that does the instant web domes that pop instantly. That allows us to just basically almost have like infinite like invincibility frames, I guess, to be able to just let Rhino hit us. He doesn't really hit us, but we deal a lot of damage to him. Here's Venom. He's the best part of this game, in my opinion.
Keep moving.
This is probably the best interpretation of Venom, I think, outside of the comics, or maybe even including the comics, depending on who you talk to. There's two comics on this level. So there's one of them. There's the other one. And essentially, you'll see that bar at the top. That bar is our, like, how close we are to Venom. It doesn't matter how close we are, we just don't want to be too far away from Venom. The point of this level is that we're chasing Venom. So in theory, if you were slow and he gets too far away from you, you'd lose Venom, you'd lose the level, you'd have to start again. But luckily, we're quite fast. You'll notice that we actually got ahead of him there. So actually, Venom is the one chasing us, so that's all fine. Here's a cutscene as we chase Venom through this, whatever this building is, office building. I'm not quite sure what this place is, but it's some sort of a building where there's people inside getting bothered by Venom's antics. That's fine. So we've collected both comics on this level already, so we're now just going to make our way over to the end of the level. Not too fast, though, because we don't want to lose Venom. You'll notice we're going to get quite far ahead of him at one point. We don't want to get too far ahead and lose him, and therefore lose the level. We're just going to wait a little bit for him to catch up here before we swing to this last building, and that should be fine. There we go. So we land here. Venom is supposed to already be here. We're too fast. He'll start talking now, but we ignore him. We don't care what he has to say. We're leaving. So we're going to fight Venom now. First of all, before we fight Venom, we're going to go pick up this car, throw it at the wall, and pick up the comic. We're also then going to go pick up this web cartridge, just for safety. And now we have to fight Venom. Here he is. So Venom will spawn randomly around the map. So we just have to kind of keep an eye out where he spawns. We're just going to go hit him with a kick punch combo. He spawns in the same place 3 times, which is very cool. Hit this for another web cartridge. And we'll move on. The PlayStation version of this game has a cool trick where you can hold down the L2 button and that'll actually lock onto Venom, which saves you having to do the little, like, the searching around for him there. On every other platform, you have to actually, like, find him, which is a bit trickier. But it is what it is. We're going to go to here. We're then going to go, turn back around. Because the comic is actually all the way back at the beginning here of this little tunnel. So we'll swing to the end here. pick it back up, and we'll go back again. So you have to go all the way to the end of this little corridor first before it'll let you, before the comic will spawn in first of all, basically. We're going to jump across here, and now we're going to do some swinging across these pipes. Pipes are a bit scary. You don't want to fall into the void either. We are going to swing under the pipes just for a bit of extra speed. Swing all the way to the end. Perfect. A trap. Here's some lizards, by the way. You've seen some lizards. There's some lizards on this level now.
Am I late for the party?
Gonna hit them all with some web balls. Defeat them fairly quickly. And then we're going to go into target mode, do this little look at the floor, and it just glitches out the camera. It doesn't actually save any time, but it glitches out the camera. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Who is it?
We're now going to move on to a level that is one of my favorites. This is Sewer Cavern. What you'd normally do in any percent is you'd attempt to swing across all these pipes, ideally without touching the pipes, because touching the pipes is slow. But actually, we need to touch the pipes because we need to get to the area where the next comic is. So we're going to swing over to this second pipe over here. We're going to climb up a little bit and then aim to the left a little bit. There we go. We're going to find the wall. Swing over to here. Pick up this. I'm going to pick up the web captures as well, just for safety. And we're going to swing back then across the cavern without hitting the pipes, hopefully. There we go. Nice and quickly to the end. Going to jump over all these lizards. Hopefully they don't spit at me. That would be rude.
I'm already at full health.
And there we go. Reach the end of the level. There's a train. We're going to try and catch that train. And what we're now going to do is probably my favorite thing in this game. We're going to take a nice brief break. So what we're going to do, hopefully, is we're going to stand in a position just on this train here. We're going to wait for the lizard to start walking towards us. And what we should be able to do is just start jumping. And the lizard will kind of like phase inside of us a little bit as he's trying to attack us. And once we get to a certain point, the lizard actually will just be stuck inside of our character model. And the other lizards are just kind of watching us like, bro, what are you doing? And so basically we just get to sit here for a good like minute and a half. I can put the controller down. I can go for a walk. I can go get a snack, have a drink of water. But if there's anything that our lovely host would like to say, this would be a good point now because we're basically just stuck here for a good minute and a half.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. This is Tempestrel. I've taken over for Easy Hope 58. I just want to thank everyone for helping us reach not only our original $1,000 US goal, but actually for smashing right through that yesterday and getting to $1,500, meeting 2 stretch goals today. So up next is going to be the bonus run that you all helped to support. And at the end of the day, the very last thing we're going to do is actually a Glitz exhibition. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to shout out our charity as well. We are supporting the Transgender Law Center. Your donations are helping to fight for the rights of all trans and LGBTQIA+ people. If you or anyone you know is in need of legal resources, please visit their website at transgenderlawcenter.org/resources for more information. And for those of you who are supporting the run, thank you so much. If you have not yet made a donation and you want to, well, we only got a few hours left in this event. We end at about midnight or 1 o'clock Eastern tonight. Get your donations in. We want to see how high we can go. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah, get those donations in if you haven't already. Great cause. Please do support if you are able to. We're approaching the end of the level now. You'll see the point of this level is basically we've got to wait for the train to get to the end of the track. So we're quite close now. The next couple of levels are all quite fast and intense, especially if doing it on 8%. It's a little bit slower on all comics because we have to kind of take some divergent paths to collect the comics. There's a lot of cool tricks. Basically, every level after this point now has some sort of skip or trick involved. Which is very exciting. So hopefully we'll get to demonstrate a lot of those, if not all of them. So we're now in the kind of depths of the sewers. We're going to go over to here. The comic is just on the left over here, so we're going to go behind this little, whatever that is, bit of machinery over there. We're going to zip all the way along to the end of this corridor, and we're going to actually ignore this wall completely. Oh, nearly slid through the gap. First try. We're actually going to see this gate. We're going to just zip through the gap. Spider-Man's made of paper, so we just ignore all gaps. And we're going to zip to the end of the level. So normally you'd have to go up. You'd have to shoot off some different tunnels and pipes and all sorts of stuff to be able to unlock that gate. We just say, who needs a gate? We're just going to go right through it. This level, there is a skip normally on this level that shortens this level exponentially, but unfortunately we don't get to do that because we... Oh no. And so we did that so fast that my Dreamcast has decided to reboot.
Is that normal? Does that happen?
That's not supposed to happen. Right, so bear with me. What we'll do is we will hopefully load back in. It's going to reboot again. Bear with me. 2 seconds. If this does happen, I have a backup prepared, so do not worry. I'm just going to reboot the Dreamcast completely, and we'll hope that we can do the rest of the run. If not on Dreamcast, we can do a quick cheeky switch over to PlayStation. So don't worry. Pretend it's a Dreamcast if that does happen. But we hopefully will be able to get back with the Dreamcast in just a second. Now, it wouldn't be a Spider-Man run without a bit of Parker luck, exactly as chat has just said. So we're hopefully not too far from continuing with the rest of the game. What I'll do is I'll put in the all levels cheat, and what we can do is we can just skip ahead to that level. We obviously won't do the entire run again because that would be crazy. So let me just find, while the game boots us back in, the cheat to unlock all levels, because I can't remember it off by heart, and I don't want to unlock everything because that would obviously remove all the comics then, and that's the point of the run. So level select is level skipper perfectly. Perfect. Okay. So we'll be back to our regularly scheduled speedrun in just a second. I do apologize. I have a feeling my Dreamcast either is on the way out or just has a bit of a problem with the disc reading. So it is on a disc. I know some people have like the GDEMU thing. I think it's restarted again. It has. Okay.
Oh.
Cancel the Dreamcast. We're going to go to the backup.
All right, give us just a second, everyone. All right, everyone. We should be live again. And we are live. Great. Okay, take it away, Spyran.
Excellent. Welcome back. So this is the PlayStation. This has been the PlayStation the whole time. Pretend that didn't happen. So this is hidden switches. So what I was saying before we were rudely interrupted by the console crashing is that essentially we want to press all these buttons here in order to make the comic appear. That's what we're collecting. We're collecting comics, if you remember. So we're going to swing past here. This last button then should make the comic appear just there. Perfect. We're going to swing around here and jump to the end of the level, which is just down there. Next up is a level that is notorious for killing runs. It is very scary. It is known as Tunnel Crawl because that's what the level's called. So we're going to swing over to here, zip over to here. Now you'll notice there's water. Water to Spider-Man is very, very dangerous. We don't want to touch the water. Touching the water will cause Spider-Man to drown. So what we're instead going to try and do is these little roof zips, which are very precise, and you have to press a lot of buttons at the same time, all kind of one after the other in a very specific kind of pattern to try and get these roof zips.
Keep moving.
That was all very, very nice and clean. If you don't get the roof zip, you have to zip it back up in time to be able to save Spider-Man from hitting the water. On the PlayStation version especially, the water is especially brutal. If you touch the water literally with like your pinky toe, Spider-Man will drown. It's a lot more forgiving on other consoles. On PlayStation, it's just very, very cruel. This is the spot, by the way, when I said you'd see the spider fly again, the flying spider again. If we were doing any percent, it would be this level that you'd see it on. But unfortunately, we are going to do this level relatively normally. We're going to hit this switch just over here, which makes the comic appear just behind the bit of machinery, whatever that is over there. We pick that up, and we're going to swing now to the end of the level, which is just through here. Bosh. Now, this is a cool level. Now, this one, actually, it's kind of good that now we are playing the PlayStation version because I get to show you this trick. This is going to be the puzzle spin. So we normally have to solve a puzzle to open these doors. We're not going to do that. We're actually going to run over here and try and slide Spider-Man in between this gap in the floor here that's like a paper-thin little gap. There it is. We zip Spider-Man all the way along the end of the corridor underneath the doors to just skip that entire section. Spider-Man is made of paper, and we love him for it. It's all good. So we skipped that level. There was no comic on that level to collect anyway. That's all fine. And now we are in a maze. This is Lizard's Maze. I couldn't remember the name of the level then. We're going to do some of these roof zips again just to travel along this level a little bit faster. We're going to go find the Lizard. The Lizard is in this game, but only as a cameo. You can't actually fight him or play with him or whatever you want, because he's just part of the maze. So we're going to go over to here. We're going to find the Lizard. He's going to tell us what's going on. The Lizard. Okay, bye. He technically tells us the route to be able to get to the end of the maze. We don't actually have to listen to his instructions anyway because we're going to do a cheeky little glitch to get through the level and skip his entire maze. So I feel bad. He's probably set up this maze and he's thought, oh, this is really cool for anyone who visits. It'd be quite exciting. We're just going to ignore all the rules of the maze. What we're going to do is glitch into this corner here, which allows us to kind of clip out of bounds. there should be the next bit of the maze just over here, which allows us then to zip, after we collect the comic, just down another corridor here. We're going to do the same trick again. We get onto the wall, but clip ourselves inside of the wall, just to swing out of bounds, swing over to here, and by doing that, we also skip a cutscene basically at the end of the level. So here we go. We're now onto a second Venom boss fight. No comic on this level, but actually I get to demonstrate the L2 mechanic here. So if I stand here, if I hold down L2, we should now see Venom spawn immediately upon him spawning. There he is. So ideally, this level's a lot of RNG. Venom can spawn in one of four locations, either across from us there, in front of us like he did before, or on the rafters at the side, either side of us. Ideally, we want him to spawn in front of us because that's much faster. We don't want him to ideally spawn over here. It's not too bad because we've already hit him the once, normally, and then with the web ball. So we can actually finish him in 3 cycles, as we've just done there. That was quite nice. Pretty decent RNG there. And now we're going to move on to another level. This is Symbiote's Infest Bugle.
Here it is.
So the comic on this level is hidden in the ventilation system. So there's a symbiote. We're going to save the hostage that's in the ventilation system there. We're going to swing over and around to that ventilation system, which is just this one here where that symbiote was just dropped from. Zip through here. Golden. There's a comic. We're going to drop down here, and actually we're going to skip through, hopefully, this bit of a corner here, because by jumping Spider-Man into this corner, I'm going to try and get him kind of stuck inside, which should allow us to just do a little cheeky zip through the other side of the building. It'll despawn the level, and we can just jump to the end of level trigger. Saves us a bit of time, rather than doing the whole level normally. This will also save us time as well. This is an elevator. It goes quite slow. We don't like slow elevators, so what we're going to do is glitch Spider-Man outside of the elevator and just fall down the elevator shaft here to the bottom. Save a lot of time. There is the comic. We're going to pick up the comic. We're going to go to the other elevator shaft, press the button there, and exit accordingly. Nice and easy. Looking good, looking good. So, next level. We're in the depths of the Bugle now, the Daily Bugle. We've got to destroy these generators. Normally there's 4 generators to destroy. We're only going to need to destroy 2 as part of the speedrun. So this is the second one just up here. Let's zip ourselves over to here while that's getting there. Here is the comic just underneath this roll of like paper, I guess. Golden. Now we're going to go over to here. This door's going to close. Oh no, closed door. We don't like closed doors. We're just going to skip through this door by zipping ourselves over to the corner. And that's actually the end of the level, just down there. Normally, you'd have to destroy the other generators. You'd have to jump up then and down. You have to go around and then jump down the pipe itself. We just glitch outside to jump down the pipe. It's all good. We're going to destroy this generator here. There's a difficult glitch that you do in here on any percent we're not going to do. What we're going to do is swing through this door. These pipes will all burst. And actually, to get the comic, we need to save these pipes from exploding. So we're going to web up the pipes. And what should happen here is that'll explode. That'll find here. And now we're going to try and do a glitch actually here. So we're going to zip over to here. Let's try and see if we can get out of bounds by aiming at this bit of wall behind us. And aha, we have fallen out of bounds. We zip underneath the map and back up. And that should keep the level despawned, which allows us to swing over to here. We're going to do a little jump round that door there.
That's the guy who framed.
And that's the end of the level. Saves a lot of cutscenes. Do a lot of cutscenes there. We can skip a lot of running around again. That level we can just skip.
I gotta say.
And now it's Mysterio. It turns out Mysterio was part of this whole plot. He was the one who disguised himself as Spider-Man originally. What we're going to do is we're going to stand in a very specific place, kind of on the edge of this point here. You'll notice that he'll try and grab us, but actually because we're just outside of the hitbox there, he won't actually be able to grab us. So we just kind of get free hits off on him. It's all good. He's fuming because he can't touch us. We're going to destroy all the glowing conduits, and then we're going to drop to the lower level because the comic will spawn now on the lower section of this area. There it is, just on the left. Let's try and pick it up. Golden. Perfect. Right, we're going to go back to the top.
You finally found a costume the
Stand on the ledge. Oh. Try not to fall through the ledge. Stand on the edge here again, just so he doesn't grab us. Now, the ledge is deceiving because it's not actually... Let's try there. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to jump just because I don't believe that I'm in the right position. I don't trust myself. Fire web balls. There we go. One more web ball will do the job. And down he goes. He was huge. He now is no longer huge. And right now we're thinking, man, this speedrun's pretty good. I agree. You should all try this. So, the next level. There's 2 comics on this level to collect. We're going to go collect both of them, of course. This level involves destroying some generators again to be able to progress. So we're going to do that by just jumping around here, destroy all the generators. Just over here to allow us to progress. You can technically, I think there is a way to do this without destroying the generators, but technically we're going to do a web dome here as well to destroy both of those a little bit faster. First comic is over here. We'll collect that. Oh, we'll collect that. There we go. Destroy these last two generators. And then it should allow us to progress to the next section. Normally you won't be able to go down this this vent without destroying the generators. It'll just kick you back out and say, oh, you need to destroy all the generators. So we've done all that to fulfill that request. We'll drop down here. We'll go over to the right-hand side here. And you'll think, oh, dead end? No. Web that. Ooh. What's down here? A secret. Yes, you're right. Look, a comic. Golden.
This place blows.
This place blows. I agree. So we're going to fall down.
Geronimo!
And progress deeper into the depths of wherever the hell this is. This next level is pretty cool. This is Underwater Trench. To get the comic here, we're going to zip up to here, walk across, and we should just be able to fall up through the floor. There's the comic, and we'll just restart the level to get through it normally. Normally, to collect that comic, you'd have to swing. You have to go basically to the halfway point of this level, hit a switch, and then come all the way back through the door that opens by hitting the switch, and then get the comic. By just glitching through that floor, because again, Spider-Man is made of paper, we can actually just pick up the comic very, very early and then just do the level normally, which obviously saves a lot of time. A lot of time. So there's lasers here. We can kind of ignore the lasers for the most part. They shouldn't really hurt us. We're just going to swing through this level as fast as possible. So this is the room. In this room, just over to the right, behind that bit of block there, that is where you hit the switch then to be able to turn around and go back and get the comic if you were playing this casually. Of course, this is a speed run, so we've got the comic already because we're just that fast. We'll zip through to here and get to the end of the level, just over here. And now we're approaching kind of like the end game now. This is the kind of last couple of levels. But still a little bit to go before the end comes. We'll jump down here to this little gap in the floor, this kind of like middle platformy bit here. Pick up the comic. We'll then zip back up, and we will do a glitch known as what is this level called? This is skipping the fog. This is stopping the fog. So this glitch is known as skipping the fog. What we're going to do is we're going to go over to one of the three rooms here, and we're going to hit this switch 3 times, which you're normally not supposed to do, but because of the power of the fire web, for whatever reason, Spider-Man can hit the switch more than once if you hit the switch twice before that cutscene that plays when you hit the switch finishes. For whatever reason, that means that the switch doesn't actually activate. Technically, the game doesn't think it's activated. And so instead of going to 3 different rooms to hit 3 different switches, we can actually just hit one switch 3 times. Technically,
You got it.
5 times, because you hit the switch twice, 2 times twice, and then just once. Yes, this game is very cool. So, we're moving on. We're now into the kind of the end game properly. There's 3 boss fights in a row. Technically 2 boss fights in like an escape sequence. But this is Dr. Octopus. It turns out Dr. Octopus is behind the entire plot to frame Spider-Man and do all the evil things. This is all his idea. So what we're going to do now is try and get to Dr. Octopus through this shield. So we have to hit these switches as they fall down. The switches are all RNG. So we just have to hope that we'll stand in the right position to be able to hit the switch when it falls down. We've not done very good so far. But we're going to try and do it now. So this switch is 4, we should be able to hit that from here.
One more should do it.
Now I'm pretty sure between C and D is just to the left of me. So what we're going to try and do is do this in one cycle. Let's see if we can do this. Kick, kick, punch. Kick, kick, punch. I don't think I've done it. Oh no, I have. And the comic is just over here. Boom. Okay, we did that in one cycle. I thought I'd just dropped the combo slightly too early there. But we hadn't. That was one cycle. We managed to pick up the comic at the same time. A very specific set of inputs there to be able to do that. Here's Carnage. We're just going to throw him inside of here. And then we're just going to basically loop him inside and outside of this bubble, this sonic bubble. Because I've jumped there, hold on, I'm going to just keep him locked inside. Stay there, sir. Thank you. All right, and we won't jump this time to not damage ourselves. And basically, Carnage will take damage to Spider-Man if you hit him, but we want the most damage comes from him being inside this generator, the sonic bubble. So we keep him inside the sonic bubble by pushing him out and pulling him back in just before the generator would, like the bubble would drop, so that we can just keep the bubble constantly active and constantly dealing damage to him, basically. So we defeat him like that. That's quite a hard boss fight casually, because you're just like, oh my days, this guy's like impossible. This is the stuff of nightmares. So I apologize for everyone who's going to try and get to sleep tonight. You won't be able to, because this is Monster Rock. Very scary. Gave me nightmares as a child. So this is the end of the game, basically. This is the escape sequence, the last level of the game. So I'm very sorry that we've unfortunately come to the end of the run. This has been a pleasure, though, to spend this time with you. We've got 2 more comics on this level to collect. Here's one there. And we're just going to race to the end. So I guess we'll do our shout-outs now as we're kind of running towards the end of the level. So shout-out to this game. If you're interested in running this game, there's plenty of categories that you can run. There's this category, all comics. There's any %, there's no skips. There's a category for different difficulties, easy mode and hard mode specifically. We don't really do normal because normal is kind of like basic. Hard mode's pretty cool. Shout out to all the people in the Spider-Man community. Some of them I can see in the chat, so thank you all to those of you who are here today watching. It's cool to see you all. A lovely bunch of people. This is the first game I ever learned to speedrun, and there was just a fantastic bunch of people who took me through learning this game, helped me learn this game, to the point where I became a world record holder and still hold some world records now. Which is very cool. So thank you everyone in the Spider-Man community. Just a lovely bunch of people. If you want to learn this game, you couldn't be in better hands. Oh, as we've just got the a glitch now. So this doesn't normally happen. We've spun the camera, and this is going to make things very confusing now, because the camera's not supposed to look like this. Perfect. So this has thrown me off completely. And now I'm going to have to kind of like think about what I'm doing. I'd normally be able to do this pretty well without really thinking about it, but now the camera's flipped. It's all very confusing. So yeah, shout outs to this marathon. Obviously, please do donate if you have the capacity to do so. It's a great cause, and you should hopefully feel compelled to donate and support a great cause. Here's the last comic. Let's pick that up before he gets too far ahead of us. And yeah, any more shout out to me if you like me and you've liked this run. You can find me on most platforms as Spyran or SP_Spyran on some platforms where Spyran was already taken. Otherwise, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed Spider-Man. I really enjoy running this game. If you find me on my stream, likely it is you'll see me running this game. We're about to come to time, so time will be on this final corridor. Once the screen fades to black, in about 5 seconds. Time. And that's the run.
Congrats.
Thank you. So I'll show proof that we collected definitely all the comics, and we definitely didn't miss any comics because we had to switch over to a different console. So you'll notice if we go to comic collection, ignore the first half. Obviously, we did all the first half on the Dreamcast originally. There are the rest of the comics, which you can go into, you can have a look, and it says, oh, look, this is Amazing Spider-Man 50. This is Amazing Spider-Man 100. So this is a great game. If you enjoyed this, like I say, please do give this a go. Myself or any of the other people in the Spider-Man Discord and community would be love to have you around and come run this game. That's it, basically. I've been Spyran. This has been Spider-Man. I'll hand back to our host now to continue with the rest of the marathon. Thank you for having me.